Good morning. Welcome to today's flow. So it's going to be a slow flow. We'll just go at our own pace, just listening to our body. We'll get into the core a little bit and warm up the hips and play with balance a little bit too. Okay, so to get started, we can have yoga blocks. I like to have them for a little extra support, but you don't need them. And just keep them at the top of the mat so they're there when I need them. So we'll start on your back. Just taking your time to arrive on your mat, bringing the knees into the chest for a moment, just gently rocking from side to side. And then when you feel like you're ready, just placing your feet on the mat, you can take your arms wide, shoulder blades under, and just finding your body on the mat. So noticing the hips, noticing the shoulders. You can always have the legs fully extended. Of course, if the back is sore, it can be nice to keep the knees bent, feet on the mat. And we'll just find our breath here. Slowing the breath down, breathing into the belly. As you inhale, the belly expands. As you exhale, the belly comes back in. And just trying to soften and lengthen the breath as we move here. We'll find that breath a few more times. Allowing your body to become even heavier on the mat. And we'll start to bring in a bit of movement, but we'll stay with that breath. So just bringing the head from side to side. Oh my goodness. As you inhale, the head comes all the way over. And as you exhale, it comes all the way over to the other side. And we'll bring it back to center. Take a nice big breath here. Let's stretch up, so bring the arms overhead, point the toes, take a nice big stretch. And as you exhale, bring one knee in and then the other, and squeeze it in. Perhaps the forehead comes towards the knees. And then we'll just hug that right knee and extend the left leg long. Bring it into the chest. You can start to circle the ankle that's in the air. And circle the other way. We're going to just gently take this knee from side to side, so maybe it just moves a couple inches over to one side, and rocks a little bit to the center line. You might start to find a little more mobility in the room. You might start to take it a bit more open, and a bit more across, but just moving with your body. Maybe you can take it to one hand as you open it, and then switch to the other hand. And you can stay with that gentle movement, or you can start to bring it more into a bit of a twist, taking it across the center. And bring it back. We'll try that one more time. So switch hands, bring it open. And take it across. And bring it back to center. We'll hug it in one more time, perhaps even rolling the shoulders off the mat, giving it a bit of a squeeze. And release. We'll slide that leg away. Let's take the other knee in, give it a little hug. And you can circle the ankle. And circle the other way. There we go. Just gently start to bring this knee from side to side. See what it feels like to bring it open. And see what it feels like to bring it across. And open. Just moving at a pace that you like. And across. You can stay like this, or you can start to take it open with one hand. You can take it across with the other. And continuing that flow, maybe it falls open a little bit more, maybe it doesn't, that's okay. And bring it across. And we'll finish up with this movement. Just giving the knee one more hug and rolling the shoulders off the mat. Touching knee to nose or thinking about it. Rolling it back down. Then stretch the legs long again. Point the toes, reach the arms above the head. And take the right ankle over to the right, coming into a little banana asana. Take the left ankle over top of the right ankle and just gently arch over to the right. Relax everything onto the mat. Take a nice big breath into the rib cage. Finding a bit of length here between the ribs. We'll try for another breath. Exhale, close it up to center. Open that ankle. Take the left ankle to the left, right ankle over top. And just gently guide the right wrist over to the left. See, you're a banana over to the left this time. Nice big breath into the rib cage. And go for one more. And we'll take it back to center. Holding here, nice big stretch. And then as you exhale, bring it all together. Hug the knees into the chest. Reach the forehead up to the knees. Grab onto that right knee, extend the left leg long so my shoulders are holding off the mat for a moment. And I'm going to switch sides. Bring that left knee in, extend the right leg long. One more time on each side. Bring that left knee in, right leg long. You can always rest your head on the mat and switch. And then release it down. Place your feet on the mat. You can just take the arms above the head. We're going to fan the arms down to the hips, and then fan the arms open towards the ceiling. So just finding your wingspan, your range of motion here in the shoulders, bringing them up and down. See what it feels like to do it slowly and close to the ground. Bring it up. Okay, open up the palms. The blocks. And down. one more. Up and down on the exhale. Take those knees into the chest, a hand on each knee. We're going to circle those knees. So first you kind of bring them into the chest and then circle them away from each other and back together in the center. So your pelvis is rocking as you bring the knees in and back. Giving the pelvis a little love here, lubricating the hip joints. Maybe we can switch directions. Keeping it slow. We'll just do it one more time. Stay with the breath here. From here, placing the feet on the ground. So the feet are just below your knees. You can have the knees in line with the hip bone. And you're just going to stay for a little rock of the pelvis. So you're going to curl the tailbone under and then press it away. So you're creating space in the lower back and then flattening the lower back. Creating space and flattening. So just finding that. It's almost like a mini cat-cow on the mat. Finding a bit of mobility in the lumbar spine here. Pressing away and tucking under. See if you can add your breath. Inhale as you press away. Exhale as you flatten. Hold that exhale. You might even feel your core kick in. Inhale, soften, press away. Exhale, flatten and hold. Squeeze the glutes. 2 more times. Last one. Same motion here as you inhale, press away, create space under the lower back of the mat, like you can put your arm there. And then as you exhale, flatten and squeeze, hold, and then press into your feet and start to lift. So we're supporting the lower back here. We're squeezing the glutes. The lift might be small at first, and that's okay, it doesn't matter. Lower it down. Inhale, press away. Exhale, flatten and squeeze and lift. Inhale, lower. Press away. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Let's go for 2 more. Lower, inhale, press away. Space in the lower back. Exhale, start to engage, flatten the back, squeeze the glutes, then lift. Of course, you can always adjust your feet or your knees as you go. You can take it wider, you can take the feet further away from the knees, just to make it a little more comfortable, a little less uncomfortable. Squeeze and hold at the top. When you get there, lower down a couple inches and squeeze. Lower down a couple inches and squeeze. We'll do it 3 more times, just starting to engage those glutes. Little exhales as you squeeze, really recruit those inner muscles, those inner core muscles. The deep layers, lovely exhale. Let's release it all the way down. Reverse the pose, bring the knees into the chest and just gently rock from side to side. Whenever you're ready, we'll roll onto the right side. So I'm just going to roll it over. Rest your head in your hand. those knees are bent and the feet are just behind you, so you can see your feet in line with the back. If they're sticking out too much, bring the knees up a bit. You can have that top hand out in front of you. We're going to keep the feet anchored to the ground, and we're just going to peel the knee up a little bit and down. So we're firing up the glutes here, peeling it up and down. Use the exhale and down. Nice, slow and steady. Go for one more. It's not about how high you go, but see if you can connect to the exhale as you lift. Inhale, soften. Take that top leg out in front. Tap the toes. We're going to take it all the way behind. Tap it back. So you can keep these small. These can be little taps. If you're just starting out and you're not used to this movement, keep it small and low. If this is something you've been practicing with me, you can stay slow and steady, but maybe take it a little bigger. And then kind of find your core balance as you lower it down in front. And you lower it behind. Core is stabilizing and the breath is working with us. You can do a slow one, a low one, and then a bigger one. Alternate. See if you can keep the hips steady and just move the leg. If everything's wobbling about, then we're just going a little too high perhaps for the body, for what the muscles are capable of today, or how the balance is feeling today. So we just slow it down and lower it. Let's go for one more with control, whichever way you like. And then we'll take that knee and give a little hug. Oh, a little squeeze. If you're feeling fancy, you could grab your toes and stretch it out. A little cracks there. And then bring it down. Grab up to the ankle and just gently guide the leg down. I'm just gently pressing my hips forward for a little stretch. Okay, we're going to fire up the core. I'm going to lay my head on my arm. I'm going to fire up the side body here. So option one, just keep it low and slow. Listen to your body and your back. Little exhales. Option two, if you're feeling a little more energetic, you have a little more control, you can press into the arm, bring it up, and bring it down. You can always alternate. One, tap, and two, press. Use that exhale. We'll go for two more. Just warming up the core. Let's take that ankle again. Do a little quad stretch here. Nice. Let's not forget the inner thigh. So I'm going to place this top leg out in front a little bit. I'm going to straighten the bottom leg. It's a little bit out in front for balance. And then we're just going to pulse that bottom leg. Can we exhale and pulse? Firing up the core. See, if you don't breathe, the muscles don't engage properly. Use that exhale, move the diaphragm out of the way, the pelvic floor will naturally engage. And release. All right. Let's take it to the other side. So I'm going to switch sides. Come to the left. And then we'll start with those clams again. So head in the hand. Find that triangle with the knees. Top arm on my hip so I can kind of feel the muscles I want to work here. I'm thinking about them. Inhale, exhale, lift. little engagements. It's not about how high you can go. Honestly, sometimes the higher you go, the more you engage the front of your thigh. So we're just thinking about squeezing the glutes, the muscles around the sit bone, and those little exhales. And what that does is it teaches the core to fire when we do that lateral movement. We want the core to remember to get involved in these things so that we don't take it to our lower back or our hip flexors. Let's go for 2 more. Last one. Okay, let's take it straight leg out in front. I got my arm in front for balance. And let's see how the hips feel like. Start low, little taps to each corner of your mat. And maybe we take it bigger. Bigger doesn't feel better than do it lower, low and slow. And go for 3 more. It can be really nice to get into the hips on these kind of gloomy days, depending on when you find this video. To warm the core and get into the hips. It just gives us a little bit more of inner power on these kind of low energy days. All right, last one. I'm going to bring the knee in, give it a little squeeze. And of course, if you're feeling fancy, feeling stretchy, you can grab the big toe and stretch it out and see if your balance is there today. And bring it in. I'm going to slide my hand down my ankle, gently bring the knee down, and then forward. Oof, a little bit of a press with the glutes here. You can let that go whenever you've had enough. I'm going to release that. I'm going to relax my head on my arm. Take my other arm over my ear. And fire up this top leg. Option 1, slow and low. With control, exhale and bring it down. Using that exhale can really make it powerful. Option 2, if you're feeling a little more energized today, a little more stretchy, you can bring it up. You can even press into the lower arm and kind of fire up that shoulder and bring it down. Whichever option you choose, just keeping it controlled. We're not flinging arms in the air and using momentum, but we're using that deep core power, and we'll use that breath to get in there. Keeping a bit of ease in your mind. So we're just going light, we're not powering through, we're just kind of finding that lightness as you move, which is really just a change in the mind, which can be hard sometimes, but you can go through practice, kind of pushing and using lots of effort, or you can kind of think about just floating through, finding a bit more ease. Let's go for 3 more. And there's always options to find more ease. So just not going in so far, not lifting so high. All right, let's stretch it out one more time. I'm going to bring the knee in again. And come back into that quad stretch. And then when you finish, we're going to meet on our tummies. So we're going to roll it over to the tummies. Okay, bringing the hands into the shoulders. And we're just going to peel the upper body up. Reach forward with the crown of the head. Back with the toes. Exhale, lower down. So We're thinking about lengthening, not how high we can go. Let's take the hands wider, bring them under the elbows. Inhale, peel up. Exhale, lower. Try it again. Inhale, peel up, reach forward with the crown of the head. Reach the shoulder blades back and down. Reach back with the toes. Exhale, lower. This time, slide the hands into the shoulders. Peel and press back to your child's pose. Just reaching those sit bones back. Wherever they end up is okay. And then we're going to come forward, bring the shoulders over the hands. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, that baby cobra, finding that length. Exhale, lower, and press back to your child's pose. Stretching it back. We'll do that flow 2 more times. So find a flow that works for you. Move at a pace that serves your body. And exhale as you lower down. Inhale as you find your cobra. Exhale, press it back, child's pose. Last one. Cobra. Exhale, press up to hands and knees. Knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders. And then from here, we're just going to start to circle the hips. So actually, you can take your hands a little bit ahead. We're going to circle the hips in a big, big circle, really trying to get the hips to those corners. Moving as if nobody's watching. Hopefully nobody's watching. You have a nice peaceful practice today, wherever you're joining from. And then circle the other way. Staying with the breath. Last one. Pressing the hips back when you finish, and then letting the hands slide forward into that puppy play bow position. So the chest mounts towards the mat. The hips are kind of shamelessly high in the air. And maybe the chin comes down. Maybe it doesn't. See if you can hold here for a breath. We're going to come out of this just by sliding one arm in and then the other. And then tuck your toes under. We'll just press back with the toes all tucked under for a little bit of a foot stretch. The feet are pretty delicate and personal, so you can stay here. This might be enough. If you want a deeper stretch, you can bring your body upright in this foot stretch. And if you need a little movement to distract the mind, just bring the arms up and pull them down. Bring them up. And pull them down. For the last one. And pull them down. Bring the hands down to the mat, untuck the toes. You give them a little tap out if that feels good. Give them a little tap. Nice. We're going to come back to tabletop and just take that right leg straight back. We're going to reach it away, engage the shoulders here. The arms are strong, and you're looking at the top of your mat. As you exhale, bring the knee in, kind of curl through the spine here, press through the spine, and then bring it straight back. Find that movement, that cat-cow with comes in, move that diaphragm out of the way, make more space. Inhale as you stretch it long. Exhale, bring it in. We'll try that 2 more times. Stretch it long. And back. Hold it out. We're going to kind of lean into that left hand. I'm going to put my foot to the left. You're going to peel up the right arm. So we're in a side plank, supported side plank. You could stay here, breathe and hold. Or if you're feeling a little more energized, you can tap it out. We'll go for 3 taps. We'll bring it back down. Find child's pose, stretch it out. Curl back up to hands and knees. Extend the left leg long. Find your position here. Shoulders are strong. Gazing at the top of your mat. Find some length in your spine. And then exhale. Inhale. Send it straight back. Exhale. Make some room in that spine. Inhale. Inhale. We'll go for 1 more. Inhale, send it straight back. So you're going to start to lean into the right hand. I'm going to put my right foot right a little bit. Tap the left foot to the back and find your side plank here. Again, you can hold it here or you can tap it out. And bring it back in. Tuck the toes under, find downward facing dog. Let's take the pressure off the wrists, press it back. Nice gentle bend to the knees in our first down dog. Pedaling out one heel and then the other. Bend both knees, gaze forward, walk or hop to the top. Inhale, find that halfway lift, flat back, reach the crown of the head forward. Exhale, fold forward, nice soft knees. Lean into those heels, really sit back, and we're going to press to standing. So we're using our glutes to stand instead of the lower back. Exhale, slice down the middle. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, dive forward. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, bend through the knees. Step back with that right foot. Find your low lunge here. You can drop the knee or you can keep it up. I prefer to drop it. This is where the blocks will come in handy under the hands. Handy under the hands. Relax the hips forward, soften through the belly. Can you open up to the chest? Exhale, send the hips back. A little hamstring stretch. Inhale, send it forward. You're going to lean into that right arm, so you can even take it out to the right a little bit more. Place your left hand on your hip and just do a little twist. So you're just pressing the chest towards the knee. Bring it back to center, both hands to center. We're going to send this knee back. Exhale, bring it forward and lower down. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Stretch it back. Gaze forward, bend knees and step to the top. However many steps you need to get there, take your time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lean back, reach up. Exhale. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, dive. find that flat back. Exhale, fold. Step back with that left foot. Find your low lunge, scooch the toes however you need to get the least amount of uncomfortable. Let those hips sink forward, and of course if you have blocks, use them. It's nice, it gives you a little extra height here so you can kind of relax into it just a little bit more, especially if you have a tight groin like me. And breathe. We're going to keep moving. Let's press the hips back. Straighten out through the front leg, or whatever straight looks like for you today. And just a little gentle bend forward. Exhale, low lunge. We're going to lean into this left arm here a little bit. I'm going to take it further out to the left. Place my right hand on my hip and just gently move my chest to the right. Nicer with the blocks here. Bring it back to center. Both hands to center, and I'm just going to slide this knee back. Exhale, lower down. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press back. Downward facing dog. Let's take the right leg up to the ceiling. Three-legged dog. Hands are nice and strong in the mat. Shoulders are engaged. We're going to take this knee and press it to the right elbow. Just give it a little tap. Woo. Send it back. Three-legged dog. Let's try that one more time. Tap. Right knee to right elbow. Tap. Woo. And this time, let's step it all the way through. So we're going to bring it through to center. Step. We're going to pivot on the back foot and come into your warrior two legs, and we're going to windmill all the way up. Of course, help that leg through however you need to. That leg through motion is a practice for sure. All right, let's relax the shoulders. Take the arms open and closed. Nice big bend in the front knee. The body's centered. It almost feels like you're pulling the mat apart, really digging those feet in. Open and close. Open and close. We're going to take the front elbow to the front knee, bend deeply, reach it up and over, and then exhale, nice strong core, bring it up. Drop the back arm, lift the top arm, exalted. Then we're going to pivot forward back into this lunge position. Bring it down. Step that front leg back. So we're going to find the high lunge. Lower the knees and lower all the way down. Take your time. Inhale, find that cobra. Exhale, down dog. This is the last one. Three-legged dog on the left side. So the left leg comes up. See if you can still press your chest to your thigh here. Woof. Hopefully you have a sticky mat. Bring the left knee to the left elbow. Tap and back. Try again. Bring it to the shoulders over the hands. Tap and back. This time we're going to step it all the way through. So you kind of have to make that space in the spine like we did with the cat-cow movement. And you're going to pivot or windmill the arms, facing the wrong way, all the way. Yes, here we go. This time let's bring your arms back and up. Back, chest open, and up, and back, and up. We're going to find the extended side angle, a little tap on the knee, arm comes up and over. Ooh, a big stretch. Exhale, extended side angle, comes to exalted. Do that one more time, bring it back. And we're going to bring it all the way up, and this time we're going to pivot on this back foot, up the ball of the foot, so we're in the high lunge position. And bring it down, step it back to high plank. There we go. Shoulders over the hands. You can lower down from here. We're protecting our core, so we're going to drop the knees and lower down. Inhale, find your cobra. Exhale. Press it back. Find your child's pose. Stretch back. I'm going to walk those hands to the left. Take a little side stretch here. Going to anchor down through the right hip. Nice big breath into the rib cage. Exhale. Let's walk those hands to the other side. Nice big breath. Back to center. Let's reach those hands forward. Bring the hips forward. Lower the hips down. So you can control how low you go. You can hold it here for a little bit of a stretch in the front, especially if you have lower back pain. Or you can kind of let the hips sink down and see how it feels. If you find any pinching and you don't like it, bring it back up. A little bit of a protection here. Find your stretch here. Exhale, child's pose. You're going to slide the hands forward. Find your lazy puppy. Hips stay high. Chest kind of bows down towards the mat, and so does the chin. One more breath here. We're going to sling it back so that we can come into a seated position. So I'm just going to sit down on the mat here. And we will start with the legs to one side. So I've got my legs on the right side, kind of sitting side saddle, sitting up nice and tall. And then from here, just see what it feels like to stretch over towards the knees. So sometimes just lifting this arm is enough. This is a big amount of length in the side body. You can see what it feels like to bring it out. You can see what it feels like to slice out in front of you. Take it back, and we'll try those little slicey circles to the front corner. And try that one more time. Nice and slow. Honoring the shoulder, however it is today. Oh, and then this hand's going to come a little bit behind you. I'll lean into it. I'm going to press into my knees. I'm going to take this arm out in front of me and just lift the hips up. You can stay here. You can reach out that top leg and really stretch it out. And then we're going to take it back down, and we will try it again. You can fold it over. You can keep this leg extended. It can be nice. And then bring it back. Take it out behind you. Carve this arm over to the top corner. Lift the hips, press into the knee. And lower. And we'll do this one more time in this sequence. So find a little side body stretch, whatever that looks like for you. And then bring it back. Press into the hand, press into this bottom knee, press into the heel. Lift the hips. Hold it here. See what that feels like. Press those hips forward. Exhale, lower down. I'm going to fix this position here. So my right leg is extended. Let's see what it feels like to reach for that. Just a little motion. We're not trying to grab our foot and take it to our nose. Just a little forward bend here. And release. Let's swing the legs over to the other side. So you're sitting side saddle on the left now. And then just a little stretch here. See what this shoulder feels like first. How does it feel? How far should I go here? Not too far is the answer. Little fold and bring it back up. You can play with carving the right corner, the left corner, sorry. And swing your arm back and around. We'll just try that flow 3 times. one. Of course, honoring your range of motion here. Oof. And now a little side stretch. And I'm going to take the arm down a little bit behind me. I'm going to press into it, press into my knees and lift the hips. See how that feels? It's option one. Option two is to take the leg out and really stretch it out. Finding length from the fingertips to the toes. Exhale, send the bum back. That little side stretch. Exhale, flow 3 times. Bring it down. Last one, moving at a pace that works for you. And bring the hips back down. Let's take that stretch towards the legs. I'm extending my left leg here. And you can just sit here and enjoy the stretch. If you're more flexible in your hamstrings, of course, you can fold over the leg. But when you start to feel anything in your lower back, it just means you're going further than you have flexibility for. So I like to hang out here because I know I have tight hamstrings. And take a couple of breaths, soften into it wherever you are. Exhale, bring it back up. And then we'll take the feet together in butterfly position. Send the bum back a little bit. Feet are together. You can wrap your hands around the feet. Warm them up. And just kind of let the chest fall forward. You can allow the head to come down. And slowly roll it back up. See what it feels like to stack the spine back up, one vertebrae at a time. And we'll flow into that again, so leading forward with the chest, wherever your stopping point is. And then rolling into that spinal roll up. So first my head will come down nice and slowly, then I'm going to kind of lean it back. Start stacking the spine. Coming to a comfortable seat. And then just dropping the head to the left. Left ear to left shoulder. Press those shoulders down and away and see what it feels like to take the head back a little bit. Perhaps you feel it more in the front of your neck when you do that, maybe not. Exhale, bring the chin down and around. Taking the right ear to the right shoulder and bringing it down and around to the other side. And we'll just lean back. Whenever you're ready, bring the head back to center. Lean back into the arms. Take the knees and feet out in front of you and just drop them from side to side. And then once the knees come to one side, allow them to go there. So I'm on the left, if you want to follow to the right side that I'm on. On the left, my left foot's out in front of me, the shin's out in front of me. I'm just going to press back, like a Z sit. Press this knee back a little bit. So you can stay upright. You might find a stretch in the inner thigh on the right side. You might not. You can stay like this, or you can kind of fold over that leg that's in front of you. You can fold onto your blocks. You're going to hold it for a few breaths. And once you're there, maybe you want to shimmy that knee further away for a little extra stretch of the hip flexor. Find your breath here. bring the body back upright. And we're just gonna switch sides. So I'm gonna lean back, switcheroo with the legs. So this shin is parallel out to in front of me. This knee is pressing back a little bit. And then, of course, you can stay here. Or you can fold forward. You also have blocks that you could fold onto. This is a modified pigeon pose. This is a good alternative for people who can't get into pigeon or whose knees are too uncomfortable and the pressure is too much. This is another option. This is one other option. So you're still getting the same shape with the front leg without all the pressure. And just stay for one more breath here. And we'll start to come out of it and press away from that block with the ground. Bring the legs out in front of you. And this time keep the feet wide and just bring them into each other and out. So the knees are kind of doing the opposite position of what we just did. Open and out. And we'll make our way onto our mats for our final pose. Of course, you can take it in seated, your choice. So we'll just reconnect to our breath and bodies. Allow all the movements we've done, all the energy we've moved to kind of assimilate. And just taking that moment before we go on with the rest of our days. Rolling the shoulders under. Finding your final pose. So whatever that looks like for you. You could have your knees bent if your back is sore. Otherwise, take up as much space as you want. Really allow yourself to be fully supported here. And just let it all go. Feel your hips on the ground. Feel your back. Feel your head. Backs of your hands and your shoulders. Allow yourself this stillness. Allow yourself the positive thoughts. If you find some negative ones or some to-do lists rolling in, come back to the sound of inhale, exhale. Create some sound with the breath. So you can make those inhales and exhales across the back of your throat. Finding that ujjayi breath. It's almost like you're fogging up a windshield, but your mouth is closed. I also kind of think of like Marge Simpson's grunt of dismay. It's like you're kind of doing that, but with your breath, like that. Breathing across that space, if you could imagine. Creating this sound just taps into the parasympathetic nervous system, softens the body, softens the mind. And of course, you can stay here in your meditation for a little bit longer. Perhaps taking a moment to say something nice about yourself, something you like about yourself, just to yourself, honoring, acknowledging you for a minute. A moment to send a little love to somebody who needs it. Imagining them and surrounding them with love and kindness. And close our practice with an inhale to bring in some energy and some breath, and an exhale just to sigh it out, getting rid of anything you no longer want. I like 3s. Let's do 2 more. Last one. The arms above the head, stretch it out. You can choose to stay here longer. For those who are finished with their practice, just drawing the hands down through center, pressing between the brows, and closing our practice. Namaste.